Hey, 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 welcome, welcome. It's Dee Dee, and I'm back for Friday Reads Live. This is where we talk about what we're reading today, Friday, this weekend, and sometimes into the following week. So we're going to wait to see if anybody comes into the chat to discuss with me today about books and other stuff. If you are listening, please feel free to come in and let us know what you're reading. Even if you don't want to participate in the conversations that we're having, no problem. Just still come in and tell us what you're reading because we like to hear what everybody is reading. Hello, Tracy. Welcome. Happy Friday. How are you? Hey, Cher. How are you? Mm. Welcome to the weekend. Yes, girl. And it's going to be a rainy one here. It's going to be a very rainy weekend. So I will probably be doing a lot of reading this weekend to catch up on the reading, some of the reading that I haven't had a chance to do this week because I'm participating in an junk journal, July junk journal challenge on my other channel. And so that's been keeping me busy because we post every weekday. So the weekends we have off. And I posted my post for today already. So I'm clear and out and ready to get back to reading. So y'all probably wondering what am I reading? Same shit I was reading last week. Nothing has changed. Madame Bovary. I'm about I'm midway through the second part of the book, so I don't have very much to go to finish the second part. So I'll probably be finished this one during the week of this coming week. Take my hand. I'm like three quarters, and you see where this white paper is. So I have this left to read right there. So like I could literally finish this tonight. This one I've only cracked 100 pages of it, and there's I think 500 some odd pages. So 554. It's a graphic novel. It seems to be pretty good so far. I just need to sit down and read. So that's what your girl is reading still, but hopefully I'll be finishing some things very soon so I can get on to some other things. So let's see who's in the chat and what everybody is reading. Hello, 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 Teresa. How are you? Happy Friday. I'm so glad you had a few minutes to hop on, girl. What are you reading? Hello, Curtis. How are you? Happy Friday. Happy Friday, Kay. I'm so glad Kay is here too because Kay be having those Friday meetings. Um, so I'm glad you're here, Kate. Regina says, Happy Friday. Just finished Jane Austen's Lady Susan. Okay. I will be starting the game is afoot for the Dewey reverse. Oh, they're doing the reverse readathon this weekend? Okay, I did not know. I haven't seen any ads or anything for that one. Oh, I didn't realize they were doing the reverse. Okay, cool. Good to know. Let's see. Birdie, hello. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, Amalola. How are you? Tracy said, take my hand. It's, yeah, it is. It's still holding up to the 5 stars. And I don't have much to go to finish it. So excellent. Cher said, I am reading The Blade itself by Joe Abercrombie. Wait, that name sounds familiar, Joe Abercrombie. Not that I've read anything by this person, but I recognize the name. Yeah, it's a fantasy. Okay, it's a fantasy series, but written in a literary style, more character driven than plot. Still probably not your thing. No, I know it ain't my thing, but that's all right. You know, if it comes in film, let me know. Regina said, love reading. Yeah, Dolan is gold. Okay, she's golden with the writing. It's amazing how with each book she just gets better and better. I mean, if y'all haven't read Dolan, get Dolan. Dolan Perkins Valdez. Get something by Dolan. Let's see. Birdie says reading The Enchanted Greenhouse by Sarah Beth Durst, okay, and Barry Arbones in the Midnight Soil by V. Schwab, yeah, for book club, yeah, okay. Amalula said starting The Black Tulip by Dumas and The Dream Hotel by Layla Lalami. I have that one, but I haven't read. I think I started it and then I put it down. I need to go back and try to pick it up again though. Kay said, no meeting in the car running errands. All right now. In a drive through getting a burger. Okay, girl. Bon appetit. Going to reread Razorblade Tears for book club. Oh gosh. Y'all even talk, that's a great that one is really good, Razorblade Tears. Curtis said, I am reading Blackwater Rising. Ooh, I love Blackwater Rising. It's good. Attica Locke, Madness, Antonia Hilton, and King of Ashes. King of Ashes. Come on now, S.A. Cosby. For book club this month. Okay. All right. S.A. Cosby hitting the book club. Hey DL, how are you? Happy Friday. What are you reading? And are you writing? Teresa said, I was just listening to Alexandria House book for your read along. I too am about to reread Razorblade Tears. Okay, cool. Hey Rosa, how are you? Let's see. Amalula said to Curtis, I love Attica Locke. Yeah, I'm a big Attica Locke fan too. I have only one of her books left to read. She's not talked about enough. I don't think she is either. I think she's highly underrated, particularly because I feel like she writes thrillers that have more of a literary fiction feel to them. She puts a lot of effort into creating her characters. And yeah, she's really good. I've only got one left to read too. That's the new one that came out. I haven't read that one. Oh no, I have two. I haven't read Pleasant View. No, Pleasantville. Sorry, Pleasantville. I haven't read that. So there's two I have left to read. Let's see. Uh, okay, Curtis says to Kay and Teresa, yes, Razorblade Tears is awesome. Tracy says Attica. I totally agree. Cher says, what is the best Attica Locke novel to start? Well, to start with, I mean, I started with the cutting season, and I thought it was perfect to start there. It's a standalone. It's a decent, kind of a thriller mystery. It takes place on a plantation. Has some straight up spooky moments. That is, if you have a good imagination, wow, there's some straight up spooky moments in that book. I thoroughly liked that book a lot, and it was the first Attica Locke I read was the cutting season. I would start there. Fatima said hi to me. Hello to everyone. Reading Dream Hotel and the Reformatory. Oh, okay. Bertie said I cried so much during my reading of Razorblade Tears. Oh yeah, some people cry. Yeah, during this book is I can see why. Yeah. Hello, Margaret. Salut. Um, Rosa says all about the black tulip for me this weekend and week. Okay, I hear you on that one. DL said this week I listened to Stacey Abrams' Coded Justice. Really enjoyed it. AI in the medical industry, very present day relevant. Yeah, I have yet to have read any Stacey Abrams. Where should we start, DL? Because I think you've read a lot of it, her stuff. Fatima says, just finished my first lock cutting season. There you go. Teresa said, just bought my first article lock book a couple weeks ago. I got Bluebird. Yeah, Bluebird is the first book in that series. What's his name? Darren, the Texas Ranger dude, and his crazy ass mama. Jill said, not writing, waiting for first pass edit. Okay, pages on missing persons. Okay, cool. Well, happy editing. DL said, I go back to the writing desk in September. Okay, yes. Yeah, so I see you have it like really well spaced between when you're writing and when you're editing. Okay, that's cool. Curtis said actually Blackwater Rising is my first read from her. Okay. Um Raymond. Oh, Raymond's in the house. Hey Raymond, how you doing? What you reading, Raymond? It's good to have you back in the house because we haven't seen you in a minute over here for Friday Reads Live. Tracy said the spooky scenes in the cutting season had me with the lights on for a couple of days. No, it wasn't that bad, but it's spooky. If you can imagine what it's like to be, because the person, the main character, I think her name is something like Daria or something like that, but she lives on the plantation. She lives in the plantation, but she lives on a level that has been, renovated for her to live in while she's staying there and managing the place. And she lives on this one floor with her daughter. It's spooky as hell. Like it's spooky as hell, but it's so good. Um, let's see. Raymond says, reading King of Ashes, let's say Cosby and Be Trouble by Bridget Bianca Poetry Collection. Okay, very nice. DL said, I liked When Justice Sleeps a lot. It's book one in this series. Okay. I didn't read book two, but I'm gonna go back and read it. I don't like her romance as Celine Montgomery. I think it's just too old. Oh, okay. Well, then maybe I should just try When Justice Sleeps. That sounds like a good place to start then. Amalula says, like Stacey Abrams, only read While Justice Sleeps and really enjoyed it. Okay, so that's probably where I should start. Amalula said, wanting to read Rogue Justice next. Okay. DL says hello to Raymond, to Dr. Raymond. Margaret says, ooh, do you have a physically different writing desk, DL? Oh, okay, this writing questions. DL said, yeah, I'm going to go back and read Rogue Justice. Okay. And DL says, now it's, no, it's the same desk, just a mindset. Yeah. Margaret said, got it. Takes a strong mind. Raymond says hello to DL. And Tracy says, I'm a scared. Yeah, you girl, you're a real scaredy cat if you had the lights on for that. 'Cause, I mean, it's spooky, but I mean, I ain't need the lights on later on. I was fine. I was fine. But she does a great job with the ambiance. It's just like right from the beginning, you feel she's setting you up, this story that takes place most of the story on the plantation grounds, and just the way she goes about it, it's brilliant. It's done really really well. Highly recommend the cutting season. Let's see. Wait, I lost track. What's this top fan stuff? I don't know what we're talking about right now. Shared Tracy and DL are one, two, three top fans. Okay. Okay. All right. I ain't know. I don't know what that is. Mm. So July, it seems to be rolling out of here just as quick as it came in. So um I know that August, I'm taking a break. So in August, there won't be any Friday reads. Sorry about that, but I need a break. So I will probably, let me see when I'll come back for Friday reads. Um, I'll probably come back on the 29th. That will be my moment back for Friday reads. 29th of August, I'll be back. Um, So my last Friday reads is going to be next Friday. That'll be my last one until the 29th of August. So that way I can get a little break in. Um, you're seeing crows by people's names in the chat. Girl, I don't know what's going on with all that. I don't follow all that. So maybe somebody can clue us into what's going on. Um, let's see. Um, Margaret said YouTube live chat trying to make folks be competitive yet again. Oh my God. Just ignore it. Hey Donna, how are you? Donna is in the house. We haven't had Donna in here in a long time. Donna is reading Washington Black by Essie Dujan before the Hulu release. Okay. I'm gonna look for your video, Donna, because you're gonna probably do a video on what how good the movie was as opposed to the book. Cher said if you hit the XP in the top right of the chat box with the purple crown, it has a list of people. It just showed up a couple of weeks ago with no explanation. Ooh, child, this is a lot. Margaret said, "Ooh, nice, Donna." My friend Leslie just read that. Yeah, I read it. I read it when it came out. I liked it for the most part. I didn't have a problem with it. I liked it better than her first book that I read. I didn't like that first one so much. Um, I'm a little to Sharon Margaret. Very weird. The top fan stuff. Yeah, that's probably YouTube trying to be competitive again. Tracy said, "Wait, what did I miss?" Yeah, no, I'm not. I will be on a stay vacation at home, but I'm taking a break from doing Friday reads. So I'll be gone for the most of August, but I'll be back on the 29th of August. Margaret said, but she will be on my channel to chat about Octavia. Yes, I will be. Yes, I will be on your channel to talk about Octavia. I think that's the 4th of August. I will be putting that up on my IG in case any of you want to see that chat. Okay, all right. Y'all talking about shit I'm not looking at. I can't see. Raymond said I'm number 6 in Didi's top fans. I um Donna said, I'm buddy reading with Leslie, but she finished before me. Okay, no problem. Tracy said, I just heard last Friday reads. I stepped away for a minute. Yeah, no, last Friday reads will be next Friday, and then after that, I'll be on holiday until 29th. Um, Teresa says, hey, cousin Raymond. Donna says, yes, I will give a recap. Please do, because I won't be watching it, but I'll be watching your video to find out what you got to say about it. um, Margaret said, "Oh, ha, that's so cool." Leslie was hustling. Yeah, I'm doing a staycation. Yeah, Margaret said, "Yes, August 4th, a Monday." Mm. Cher said, "We will miss your Friday chats, but you deserve the break." Thank you, Cher, for understanding that I need that break. Teresa said, "We all Dee Dee's top. We are all. That's really sweet of you. Thank you so much for saying that." We family over here. Yes, we are. Um, so yeah, so that's like the optics of what's going on there. Now, your girl has gotten in a couple of new books. Um, I got in this one, which is called Lush, by Rochelle Dowden Lord. And she is Black British from South London. Here she is right here from South London. And this is like a book that's based around wine. It's around wine. So it's about some people that are meeting up around like a wine kind of venue, and they all have their different issues. So I'm gonna try this one in August and see what it's like. I don't often read books about wine, but I love reading books about wine and food and stuff like that. And this one is by young Black British writer. So I'm kind of excited to check it out. And then, of course, this one came. which is The Girls Who Grew Big. I'm kind of excited to pick this one up. I love the cover. I think the cover's done really, really well. Layla Motley. It's her second book. So those are the two that came in. Let me see, did anything else come in? No. Those are the two books that came in that I was like really happy about. Um, those two. All right, let's see. Tashika said, "Happy Friday. We will miss you, but breaks are needed." Yes, they are. Amalua said, "Really, Didi, leaving me high and dry on Friday afternoons? What will I do with myself?" Read, girl, read. That's what you always do. Read, read. When in doubt, read, 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 read. Tracy said, "Yes, you definitely deserve a break. You will be missed." Thank you for saying that. Hey, Lex, how are you? Oh my God, you're going to New Orleans. You're going to my hometown. Oh, yeah, tons of recommendations. Well, of course, you've got to go to Baldwin and Company, of course. Also go to Octavia Books. That's near my house. It's a small independent bookstore, which I like to go to as well. So those are the two that I recommend for the moment. Um, yeah, need to get Layla's book. That's what Teresa says, and Rosa says you will be missed. But you deserve it. Yeah, I need a break. Yeah. Margaret said I just got a little hashtag little treat snack too, including one called "A Darker Wilderness Essays," edited by Aaron Sharkey. Black nature writing from soil to stars. Sounds so nourishing. That's an interesting title. Yeah. Um. So yeah, those are the only two new books that I've gotten in. But I mean, I still have a lot of other new ones that have come in that I have not touched yet. So I think August I'll be hunkering down to kill some of these new books that I got and probably do some reviews if possible and put them up. Um, yeah, those are the two for bookstores. For me, it would be Baldwin and Company, which I've never visited because I haven't been back to visit that one, but I would visit that one for sure. And Octavia because it's a small one and it's, those small independent neighborhood bookstores, they need to be supported. Now, of course, you can go to your typical Barnes and Noble, but I personally don't like Barnes and Noble in New Orleans because they don't know, the people that work there don't know about books. When you start asking them about things, they're like, who? What? Huh? How you spell that? It doesn't matter which one it is. The one in Metairie, same shit. The one across the river, same shit. So I do not enjoy Barnes and Noble, but there's also another one down in the French Quarter, but I never really go down in the French Quarter to go to a bookstore unless I already have plans to be down in the quarter. Parking is the issue there. It is pricey. But there's the Faulkner House, which is another bookstore down in the quarter, which is really nice because it is, it's got the atmosphere and the architecture and it's old and everything, and it has nice things there as well. You can find nice books there too. It's just that if you're not planning on going to the quarter, you shouldn't just to go to the bookstore. Go to Faulkner House when you're planning on going to the quarter during the day. You plan on going during the day because you want to, I don't know, get some beignets or you want to, I don't know, do some shopping or go to some art galleries or what, if you're going to do something during the day, go to Faulkner House during the day. It's a must stop if you're going to be, in the quarter and you want to buy books or something. Let's see. Wait, okay. So Teresa said, I've never been to New Orleans and need to change that. Yeah, you do. It's a great place. Margaret said, August, wine and books for Didi. Do you like wine? I mean, in France, but I won't assume. Yes, of course. Love wine. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. I love it, but I don't drink it very frequently, but I do love it. Barnes and Noble employees used to know books. Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm just talking about the Barnes and Noble in New Orleans. I'm not, please excuse me if you work at Barnes and Noble and you live in another state. I'm just talking about the two that I know in the town where I grew up. I don't like it. I'm just saying. They're not very smart at these places. These are people that don't read for sure. They're just working at Barnes and Noble. That's their job, but they really don't know it like that, in my opinion. DL said, I'm never interested in going and being in. Take me to an indie bookshop. That's me all day, every day. Margaret said, I found a new one yesterday. Always Hear Books, a queer bookshop in North Portland. It was pretty. And it's called what? Always Hear Books. That's kind of an interesting name. Donna said, love New Orleans. Yeah, I do too. Bertie said, go to New Orleans for everything but drinking. Yeah, the old buildings. Lex said, great. I'm doing a tour called The Soul of New Orleans. And I did book a reservation at, oh, are you going to Dookie? Okay. All right. Now, there are a lot of places that you can go to and get good food, though, in New Orleans. I mean, Dookie Chase is sort of like it's like a staple, like a classic staple. Dookie Chase. You're going to go there and you're going to get the classic, New Orleans food. Now, of course, you'll want to try a good gumbo, but it'd be hot as fuck in New Orleans. So you're not going to want to really eat the gumbo when it's hot. But everything else, yeah, chow down. The fried chicken, the po' boys, fried shrimp po' boys, half fried shrimp, half fried oysters, fried catfish po' boys, muffaladas. Got to get a muffalata when you're in New Orleans. Gotta get some daiquiris. Get some daiquiris now. Get yourself a white Russian. Excellent. Um, what else? You gotta go. You should go also to I think they still have it. It's called like the Mardi Gras Museum, but it's very interesting because it talks about Mardi Gras, but it also talks about New Orleans, and also when Katrina rolled through. It has all of that in the museum, and it's downtown in the center in the Cabaldo. So you might want to go see that. You might want to go down to the French Market because the French Market's great. They have great food down there. They have like a flea market situation down there. They buy all kinds of things there, clothes, jewelry, yeah, all kinds of little trinkets. Definitely buy some pralines. Do not leave New Orleans without buying or trying or both the pralines. Got to do the pralines. You also need to go for beignets one morning. Go one morning, wake up early, go down there, get I'm not a fan of coffee, but if you do like coffee, the coffee they serve at Cafe du Monde is it's chicory coffee. That's a big coffee that people love in New Orleans. But if you don't like chicory, then skip it. Just get the beignets and a glass of water if you or chocolate milk or something. But get the beignets. They're excellent. Really, really good. Let's see. Something else you could do while you're there. You could go on a paddle boat ride as well. Some of them will take you all the way up to Audubon Park and back. So I think some you can take it up to Audubon Park, visit the zoo if you want, and then come on back, or you can just do the ride where you ride up the river and come back down. This is something that you should do as well if you have never done that before. It's nice. Um, oh my God, so many things that you could do. Also, get in some jazz music if you like jazz music. There are lots of places where you can pop in and have lunch or dinner while you're, listening to jazz. Some we could just pop in, get a drink, and listen to jazz. Yeah, there's so many things. I mean, Lex, you're gonna have trouble trying to decide what not to do because there's so many things you want to do. I guess you're going with your sister. Let's see. Tracy said to Lex, try Dakar Nola and Finn in New Orleans. Raymond said, I was in New Orleans last year and went to Baldwin and Company. I agree with Dee. Go check it out. Hey, Courtney's here from Tangible Reads. Welcome, girl. How are you? What are you reading? Cher said to Lex, oh, hopefully you'll take your YouTube viewers along with you. Yeah, you should definitely do that. Donna said, love Dookie Chase and Cafe Du Monde. Teresa said, gotta run. Oh, bye, Teresa, but thanks for popping in. Tangible Reed said, get Boudin if you can too. Yeah, Boudin is really good. Um, Birdie said, etouffee is always my favorite. Yes, shrimp etouffee is it's a really good one. That one. Tracy said, awesome. The Soul of New Orleans tour is amazing. I hope to get back to New Orleans. Donna said, yes, yes. Lex said, I also want to try a seafood boil. Oh, you got to do a seafood boil. Or you can do, what do they call it? A fried seafood platter. So good. Really, really good. That. The thing is, the seafood platter for us is not really the thing we do so much. It's really the crawfish boil. But the crawfish boil, that's really mostly in spring because that's when the crawfish are the right size. But you probably could find a good seafood boil anywhere where they do like fried seafood platters. They do also seafood boils. Now, there's one that I went to the last time I was in New Orleans and it is located just outside of New Orleans. I can't remember the name of the place though. If I can figure out the name of the place, I'll send it to you by message on IG. But it's just outside of New Orleans. You need to go. You need somebody who can either go there with you, or if you got GPS or whatever, if you got to rent a car, you can get there. But it had the best seafood. This place you go in and all the seafood is comes in fresh. So you can order what you want. Either if you want a platter that's a seafood platter, you can get, a shrimp platter or shrimp oyster platter or shrimp fish platter or just a fish platter. They're usually fried, but they also do boiled as well. Delicious. And the seafood is super fresh at this place. I have to try to figure out what the name of the place is. I need to go online and kind of dig around to figure out the name because I can't remember it right now. Margaret said I should try Cafe Du Monde with lots of milk. Yeah, because I don't do coffee, period. Um, Sharon said, hello to you. And what are you reading? Margaret said, we used to have a really good beignet place in Portland, but it shut down after pandemic. Oh, damn. Bernie said New Orleans is my next trip, hopefully next year. Margaret said Dixieland Jazz. Yes. Tracy said Loretta's authentic pralines. Yes. Okay. See, for me, because I'm a local, what we do is we deal in local pralines. So you go to your mama's friend's house, your grandma's house, your grandma's best friend, auntie, whoever, it'd be like this. So I remember there was one time, I don't know, I might have been about 15 or 16 or something like that. And my mom was like, come take a ride with me. So we drive and we go in the neighborhood that's near that's going towards the uptown, like around the Riverbend area. So we go there, we go to this lady's place, and everybody, I see people coming out of the house with paper bags like this. I'm like, what is going on? Like, she's selling drugs up in this place or what? So we get there, and my mom is like slapping money on the table, and the woman comes out with, with two bags because this woman was selling the pralines out of her house, and they were excellent. Now, if you don't know any locals, then too bad. You can't get that service. But Loretta's authentic pralines is just as good. It's just as good. So yeah, there you have it. If you know any locals or you know somebody who knows a local and they know people who make pralines, those are the pralines you need to get because the locals are the ones that make them the best. in my opinion. Okay, Lex said everything sounds so much fun. I'm going with my. I knew you were going with your sister. There's also a birthday trip for your aunt. Okay, my family is from. Oh, I didn't know your family was from Alexandria, Louisiana. You never. I don't remember you saying that. Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm gonna be checking out your vlog then. Have a good trip and happy birthday to your auntie. Um, New Orleans is a fun vibe. Bring your dollars. Yeah, girl, bring it. You right about that. Bring your dollars. Um, Hello, Curly Q. How are you? Happy Friday. Margaret said, I remember the crawfish boil, but pot was as big as me when I visited as a kid. Yeah, pretty much. Uh, Curly Q said, not reading anything. Came for suggestions to get out of the slump. Hope y'all are well. Oh, wow, you're in a slump again. Curly Q said, love New Orleans. Tashika says, Dee Dee, will you come back to doing these videos? Yes, of course. I mean, I'm just taking a break. That's all. Next week I'll be here, and then afterwards I'll be on a break. I'll come back on the 29th of August. Um, Billy's in the house. Hey, Billy, happy Friday. Margaret said those paper bags gonna be soaked real fast. Tangible. Courtney says crawfish boils aren't the same when not done from home. No, they're not. It's not the same. But like I said, if you want the crawfish boil, you gotta do it in spring when the crawfish is the right size. So and you do it at somebody's house where they get the spices together and everything, and they boil everything up, and then they put the newspaper down and they pour the crawfish boil, and it usually has like potatoes and corn. It's delicious. Cher said, what are your favorite kind of books? Curly Q. Yeah. Curly Q likes a lot of things. DL said, next week I will be joining Friday reads from my new way. All right. Congratulations, DL, in your new house, girl. Come on now. All right. Margaret said, new house, new house. Congratulations and happy settling in. Yeah, that's great news, DL. Well done. Um, okay, everybody's congratulating DL on her new house. Courtney said homemade pork crackling too. Oh no, I don't do that. Oh, so good. Them roadside stands be popping. Yeah, I don't do the crackling. That ain't my thing. But I'm the seafood fish girl. I'm not a fan of the like the boudin and all that crap. I'm not a fan of that. Okay, everybody's congratulating DL. Um okay, Curly Q says thrillers are my jam mostly. It might be just a time thing. Life has been lifing. Okay. So you need a new thriller. A new thriller. I don't know. I mean, only thrillers, or is there any other kind of book that you like? Would you read Take My Hand, or have you already read it? Would you read this one? 'Cause this one is really good. This is excellent right here. I'm trying to think. New like a mystery um that you may not have read yet, because I mean you read a lot of mysteries. Amaryllis is a Jigsaw Man by Nadine Matheson. I saw the adaptation to the Jigsaw Man. It was good. DL said I read a lot of thrillers, but of course, when people ask for one, my mind goes blank. Well, just open up your what is it, your Goodreads or your whatever you call it, your Storygraph or something, or your Bookly. Margaret said if you want a super intense one, there's Shutter by Romana Ramona Emerson. It's called Shutter, and it's intense, Curly Q. So you might like it. Um, Tracy said anything by Brandon Massey. Curly Q. Have you read Nana by Brandon Massey? Margaret said I went straight to story grab. I want to say, Dee, that Jigsaw Man is a different adaptation. Oh, sorry. There you go. Making a mess of it. Um, Margaret said, and less intense but still action packed are Alice Henderson's wilderness thrillers. I don't even know who that is. Don't know who that is. Cher said for thrillers, I think The Trees, Percival Everett. I think she may have already read that one. Strange Sally Diamond by Liz Nugent would be good. Both are dark and move fast. Strange Sally Diamond. Wow, what a weird title. Curly Q said Jigsaw Man is one of my faves. Curly Q said I do need to read the latest of the series. Okay, there you go. Looks like you're onto something now. Margaret said, or if you want more spy slash intrigue, Red Window by Alma Katsu. That's all I got for true thrillers. Okay. Courtney said, "Oh yeah, Nana is a good one." Okay, there you have it. Silky Slim. I recently read old school book Rosemary's Baby. That's a good one. Of course, I've only seen the movie, but okay. It's nostalgic but creepy. It is. It's creepy as hell. And I chased it with the movie. Also, very the movie's super creepy. I don't know the book. I'm sure is even more creepy. Rosa said congratulations to DL. Curly Q said, I read Take My Hand during dur- during my states challenge. That's what I thought. So that's why I didn't push it because I thought you had already read it. But those are some good ones. Rosemary's Baby and some of those other ones. This one, Alice Henderson books and Brandon Massey, Stutter by Ramona Emerson. All these sound like they could be up your alley, girl. Um, Strange Sally Diamond is about a neuro spicy heroine, and it has a hell of an opening paragraph. Oh, okay. All right. That sounds like a damned interesting title. But now that you said it, I love great opening lines and paragraphs. So that's kind of cool. I'd be interested to hear what that opening line was. That sounds like a really interesting one. Okay, so I think Curly Q's happy because you said, yeah, lots of good ones. Thanks. So there you have it. You didn't have to be in here that long before somebody came up with something good. Silky Slim said, I'm currently reading a classic short story, The Turn of the Screw, Ghost, Children, Big Houses, Death, Creepy. Yeah. Yeah, that one is creepy. I read that one in college. Creepy. Mm. Yeah, I love great openings. And that's my thing now is when I get the book, I kind of look to see if it has a good opening line because not, a lot of books don't have good opening lines. They really don't. So this one, Lush, opening line. He weeps, but makes sure to do so silently, stoically. That's the opening line of this one. Let's see what the opening line of this one is. Nobody ever warns you about the placenta. That's the opening line of this one. So yeah, intriguing. All the same, intriguing. I'm not sure what it's all about, but it's intriguing. Okay, wait, let me go back. Hey, okay, Cher said opening. Put me out with the bins, he said regularly. When I die, put me out with the bins. I'll be dead, so I won't know any different. You'll be crying your eyes out. Ooh, this is kind of creepy. Margaret said, have you ever done the read a first line type tag to choose a next book? I think, have I done that? Maybe once I did that, I think. Um, hmm, I'm not sure. I think I did it maybe once, but I'd have to go back and otherwise, maybe if you've got have you got it on your channel? If you have it on your channel, I'll try to find it and maybe do a video like that. Curly Q said an Untamed State had a great opening line. Yeah, it does. It has a good opening line. It's intense as hell, though, that book. Oh my God. Um, Cher said, and he would laugh, and I'd laugh too because we both knew that I wouldn't be crying my eyes out. I never cry. When the time came on Wednesday, 29th February 2017, I followed his instructions. Ooh. Cher said he was small and frail and 82 years old by then. So it was easy to get him into one large garden way. Oh my God, Cher. What am I reading? Oh no. Um, Tracy said, we're all glad we could help to Curly Q. Curly Q said, Silky Slim. That sounds scary. There's a thin line between thriller slash horror. Laugh out loud. Silky said, the placenta. Mm-hmm. Yep. Curly Q said, I used to determine if I was reading a book by just reading the opening and closing. Oh, wow. Okay. There would have been plenty of books I wouldn't have read if I would have judged by that only. Um, Margaret said, yeah, it's one of my recent tags. Oh, it's one of your recent ones. Okay, well, I'll look and see, but I think I may have done something similar to it, but I don't think it was actually that tag. Um, okay, got to get out of here. Okay, have a good one, Margaret. Whoa, that's a good one though. Yeah. Share, what book is that? That's the one she had said before. Um, Curlicue said there was one closing line that jacked me up, so I stopped doing that. That gave away a lot in that closing line. Okay. Cher said, "Strange Sally Diamond. She's in her 30s. I think neurospicy. That was her dad telling her that joking, but she took him literally. Then doesn't understand why the cops want to talk. Oh Jesus." Cher said, I thought it would be funny, but it got real dark fast. Well, already that stuff you was reading, I was like, damn, I might have to sleep with the lights on tonight. That's mad crazy. Mad crazy. But I mean, we have to have those books for everybody. Um, but yeah, I mean, Rosa said, thanks, Cher. Girl, you said, who's the author, Cher? I think she wrote it. Strange Sally Diamond. And who did she say it was by? Let me go back up. Oh, she didn't say. She'll write it though, I'm sure. It wasn't scary. I'm the biggest ever. Author is Liz Nugent. That's it. You wrote it. Liz Nugent. Okay. Curly Q. Oh, there it is. Thanks. So I think you got her to get. You're gonna get her back on track. Curly Q gonna be back on track next week. Um, Cher said, if you like audiobooks, it is nice to have the Irish accent to go along with the setting. Okay, it's Irish. Okay. Tracy said, "Listen, these thrillers definitely have the bill going up." It's Irish lit. That's all I was about to say. I'm like, oh my god, I'd have to get the audio though to get the accent and all the rest of it going on with it to make it, make it the best. Because that one it sounds very intense though to a certain extent. That being said, I got through an untamed state. Lord knows how, but I got through it. But it was good. It was excellent, but it was intense. My goodness. But Irish lit is interesting because like it's one of the I think we don't read enough Irish lit. I really don't because there's a lot of good stuff out there from Irish lit, but we don't read enough of it. Because I think that other one, what was it that I read? I think it was also Irish lit, where you're in the mother's head who just had a baby. I can't remember what the name of it is right now. I think that one was written by an Irish writer as well, and it was very good. And I listened to that one on audio, and I thought it was brilliant. It did not win the women's prize though, but I think it was shortlisted. It didn't win, but it was shortlisted. So yeah. Anyway, so I feel like this is it. I've not got much else to say today, but this has been great talking to everybody about what they're reading and talking about, well, helping Curlicue get back on track with her thrillers because I get her back on track. So this has been great talking to you guys. I will see you next week for our last Friday reads before I go on break. Not sure. I'll see. I might do a tag or something on the next. I might try to do a tag for the next Friday reads. Yeah, I'm gonna try. I might try to do a tag. If I can find a good one, I might do the tag. And then that way from the tag we can, get some conversation. Courtney says I hear mixed reviews. Well, let me just put it this way. Roxanne Gay is a brilliant writer, but she writes about very intense subject matter. And the subject matter hits very close to home. So we're dealing with literature where you almost feel compelled to say, this is trigger warning, which I don't usually do that, but for some of her stuff, I would do that. And I feel like the mixed reviews maybe come out of that, but it that being said, that the stuff that she writes about is intense and very close to reality, but she's a good writer. Now, I've read most of her books. There's maybe like one I haven't read, or yeah, maybe one or two I haven't read, which are some of her recent ones. But she is an excellent writer. It's just that she writes about women who get themselves, into situations that are very horrific. And that's hard to read about. And especially if you read a lot of it all in one go, that's a lot. So I feel like if you're getting mixed reviews, it's out of that. It's not out of the fact that what she writes is not good because she's an excellent writer. It's just that you got to get your mind right if you're gonna be reading all that. That's all I'm gonna say. You can't just sit down and say, "Oh, untamed state." Let me just no. That shit will break you down. Okay, so you got to be you gotta put the brakes on if you know that you have issues and that is going to trigger you, then you need to not be reading that. Now, she does have Bad Feminists, like Rosa said, which is like one of the only ones that is not full of that needs to be trigger warning on it. The Bad Feminist is really about her and some of her likes and dislikes around the idea of being a feminist and how she considers herself a feminist, but other people would say she was a bad feminist. And it's a very good novel and it shows her sense of humor and her intelligence and all of that. I highly recommend it. But all the rest of her stuff, Mm, get your mind right. That's all I'm gonna say. It's gonna be good, but you got to get your mind right. That's it. Anyway, all right. That's it. The hour is up, and I will be back with you next week for another Friday reads. I'm gonna try to do a tag if I can find a good one. All righty. Bye.